Good evening, whether you're on the East Coast where it is actually evening or you're on the West Coast where it's still afternoon. Welcome to another installation of the Millennial Entrepreneurs Program that we do here every second Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're so delighted that you would join us again, and I am excited personally about the presentation we're about to hear. Whether you know it or not, claim it or not, we each have a personal brand. And so tonight we're going to learn from a true expert how to burnish that brand and make the best of it. She's with Bombshell Branding. She's an author, acclaimed speaker. But I don't want to tell the whole story now because we're going to give people a few more minutes to join us here at 633 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. And we'll come back and continue the introduction of our amazing presenter this evening. You are in for a treat. While I'm thinking about 633 Pennsylvania Avenue, it is the Dorothy Irene Height Building, the headquarters of the National Council for Negro Women, located halfway between the White House and the United States Capitol. What a piece of real estate, built in 1850s. At one time, our ancestors were bought and sold on this very block. But now we're the only Black-owned building on Pennsylvania Avenue. God is merciful and kind, and that's what he has been to us. I would encourage you to visit us at ncnw.org and learn more about this organization that was begun in 1935, making this our 85th anniversary. But you know, the more things change, the more they stay the same. In 1935, lynching was a big issue. Today, the big issue is, do Black lives matter? Do Black voters matter? We keep working on these problems and we cannot afford to give up. And that is why we must be prepared with the very best information so that we are equipped to fight the struggle that continues. We're going to give our people who signed up, more than 300 people have signed up for this presentation, and be back with you with a few more announcements and get started with our program. Thank you. People are still checking in, so we'll give just another minute or so because I'm looking at the counter and it's continuing to move upward, and that is a good thing, and that's typical. In just a few minutes, our wonderful communications director, Mr. Kevin Johannes, who has literally lived all over the world, including the ATL, will come to us and give us some tips on how to make the most of this GoToWebinar platform that we are using tonight.
Good evening. If you notice on your menu to the right, or if you're on your mobile device, it's on your top left corner, there's a drop-down menu, and you are able to write in whatever questions you have for our esteemed guest or on our topic of personal branding. Also below that is a tab called Handouts. We have two things in there. One is information on how to use GoToWebinar, and the other is a copy of the PowerPoint presentation that will be used tonight so that you have information once we're done. We will be posting this on our website at ncnw.org, the entire program as well as the PowerPoint when it's over. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to type your question in, and we will make sure it gets asked.
Thank you, Mr. Johannes. Here at NCNW, we take a lot of pride in these programs that we present twice a month, and we look for the very best speakers with the cutting edge strategies. And this young lady is a repeat visitor, so you know she must be good. She is an author. She is the author of books with intriguing titles such as The Brand Bible, The Instagram Bible, and I believe she has a new book out, and I can't wait to hear what it's about. It's called The Escape Plan. Okay. She's been on media all over the world, including the United States, on platforms like Huffington Post, ABC. She's a partner with the Coca-Cola Company, widely recognized to be the #1 brander in the world. And so I know that she's got information that she can share with us and help us improve, whether it's our personal brand, our business brands, our organization brands. Miss Tamisha Duncan, it's all yours, dear. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Miss Janice. I really appreciate that amazing introduction. And Kevin, thank you so much for allowing me to present on this topic. I'm really excited to share my knowledge on what I know to help other women out there really build their personal brands as it relates to building their business and really capitalizing on what it means to build your brand, especially in this age today where there's so many things going on. It's kind of hard to keep up. So I have a ton of things to discuss with everyone today. So we're going to jump right into it. So we are going to be talking about the 5 steps to building your personal brand. And before I begin, please, if you're listening to this, make sure that you follow me on Instagram, because as I'm going to be sharing a lot of information with you guys today, I share daily tons of tips, tricks, strategies on leveraging your personal brand, especially with Instagram and other platforms. So make sure you follow me on Instagram there, and we can talk and chat. I love to get DMs and messages from people, and you can ask me your questions there on Instagram as well. So I'm excited to meet each one of you personally. So, I can't move my screen. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to cover today is how to get clarity and confidence on the value that you provide. We're going to talk about the 5 steps to building your personal brand, and then I'm going to share with you how I can personally help support you through your journey to building your brand. Now, I have a free gift just for you guys. If you text the word "get branded," all one word, to the number 77948, you can get a copy of my free content calendar playbook. It's valued at $29. I usually sell it for $29, but I'm giving you guys an opportunity to get it for free today. And what's inside the content calendar playbook is basically teaching you what you need to say online, what you need to say when you're posting content, whether that be on Instagram or in your emails or on Facebook. How do you show up online? I'm giving you all the juicy details of what you need to say and how you can do that to move your audience to action. So if you want to grab that guide, just text the word "get branded" to 77948. Okay, so let's talk about who this is for. So this is for you if you are frustrated with watching your competitors have 5-figure days, maybe thousands of followers, maybe the people you're watching has a thriving community, but you are still trying to figure out, how the heck do I do the same thing for myself? You want badly to impact more people. You want to create a great reputation and a great brand around yourself, and you want your own little tribe that you can give your own cute nickname to, people who love and adore you. And you feel like you're doing all the things. So you feel like you're doing a ton of things to move you forward, but you're not seeing any results from it. You're not getting any action, AKA what your competition or what your competitors are getting. And you realize that you know you can play a bigger game. You can be doing way more. You should be getting way more acknowledgement, way more recognition for the work that you do or for the expertise that you have, but you're just not sure how to go about getting it or how to go about doing it. And maybe you daydream about waking up to new client bookings for your business, new payments, or maybe just new opportunities that come looking specifically for you that you don't necessarily have to go and look for, but people are clamoring to work with you. And you probably have a love-hate relationship with social media. I know so many of my clients, including myself, I tell you, if I didn't have a business that was centered around social media and I didn't realize the value of social media, I probably would not be on social media just because it's draining sometimes. It's a gift and a curse, right? So you probably have that same love-hate relationship with social media. But you know that you need to be on it if you're trying to build your personal brand, specifically around growing your business. So if you're growing your business and you want to build your personal brand, this is for you. So this is perfect for you. If you are a coach, if you're a strategist, maybe you're a content creator, maybe you're a stylist or a salon owner, you have some form of expertise that you want to share with the world. Maybe you're a speaker, a photographer, a wedding planner, real estate agent. It really doesn't matter what it is that you do. As long as you are someone who wants to build your personal brand, you want to be known for something, you want to get attention to what it is that you're doing, then this is for you. So make sure you pay close attention and have a notepad and a pen or something to write down a lot of the information that I'm going to share with you tonight. So thank you again, Ms. Janice, for that amazing introduction. I will briefly talk about myself because I can't stand when people sit and talk for 20 minutes about themselves on a webinar and then don't get to the meat of why you're here in the first place. So yes, my name is Tamisha Duncan. My clients affectionately call me the Olivia Pope of branding because I'm the fixer. I take boring businesses and I turn them into blazing hot brands. I'm also a #1 international best-selling author. I'm a wife and a mom to 2 boys. I hope they don't come in here making a whole bunch of noise. They're 9 and 5, so they have no concept of mommy's working right now. And I also like to call myself a shoe addict. And why I'm sharing this with you is because I've had the honor and privilege of working with some of the most popular celebrities and icons in the world. Growing up, I don't know if you can tell from my accent. Some people say I have an accent. I'm in Atlanta, but I'm originally from the Bronx, New York. And so I've had the opportunity to work with the likes of Nelly, J-Lo, Diddy, even Missy Elliott. And the amazing thing about working with these people is each and every one of them are regular people, just like you and I, but yet they were able to build household names for themselves. And I got the opportunity to see how their brand was manufactured, how they went from being a regular person, to being able to build a household brand and be iconic and be known for something. I also had the opportunity, once I moved to Atlanta, to work for the president and vice president of the Coca-Cola company. And there I learned how to build brand magic on a corporate and more global level. So I got the opportunity to see it on a more personal, even though the entertainment industry is business, I still got an opportunity to see how a personal brand was built on the entertainment side and how a big conglomerate like Coca-Cola, which is such an iconic brand, when you think of Coca-Cola, you automatically associate that with a conglomerate and a big iconic brand. And so I had the opportunity to learn what that means and how to manufacture it on both levels. And so when I left corporate America and I started my business, I actually started my business as an event planner. The funny thing is, as soon as I started my business, because I knew how to manufacture attention around my business, I was able to get featured in many magazines. These are some of the first few magazines that I was able to get featured in, and that's way before I had a single client. They thought that my brand was larger than life, and so I was able to showcase my business as a luxury brand even before I had clients, because I knew how to get attention around my brand. And so that's what I'm going to be showing you guys today inside of this class. As a result of that, now I strictly coach women entrepreneurs on how to build their businesses. I've been able to work with thousands of women across the globe to help them build and manufacture their brand, their online presence, and really refine their message and build their tribe. And I've been able to speak across the globe. I've been able to speak on the news and share my expertise with many people. So if you're wondering if I'm qualified to speak, yes, I am very qualified to speak to you about about this. And this is just one example of Debbie Williams. She's her business is called Ask Debbie About Hair. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that rice water video that went viral about 2 years ago. But Debbie says that after working with Tamisha inside of her program, she was able to launch her most successful campaign, which went, I think is way more than 5 million viewers. But at that particular time, she had over 5 million viewers without any single Facebook ad. When Debbie and I started working together on her personal brand, she had maybe less than 2,000 Instagram followers. Now she has over 20,000 Instagram followers. She had about 29 subscribers on YouTube, if I remember. And now she has over 300,000 active subscribers. Her business is flourishing so much so that she has people flying in from all over the world to help so that she can help them because they want a piece of her action based off of the personal brand that we help build. And that's what I'm going to show you today on how we were able to do that. So hold on, there we go. So this is me with one of my mentors, Miss Lisa Nichols, and she says, when clarity meets your conviction and you apply action to the equation, your world will begin to transform before your eyes. So my goal for you is to help you get that clarity and that confidence and that conviction. I'm also going to give you a strategy to position your brand so that your business, your personal brand can start to transform before your eyes. So I believe that you guys are able to type in the chat. So I want this to be an interactive conversation between us. So if you feel like your industry is saturated right now, I want you to type a yes in the chat box. I know I am raising my hand. If you can see my hand raised, I'm raising my hand because I definitely feel like my industry is saturated. Anybody that has a computer, a phone, access to the internet can just throw a business up in 2 seconds. And so with that being said, it's a gift and a curse for us because it's easier to start businesses and to get yourself established now. But that also means that there's other people, hundreds and thousands of people that are trying to do the same things as you, which makes it harder for your ideal clients to decipher which brand do they want to go to, which person do they want to go to, who do they want to work with, because everybody starts to sound and look the same. So there are 3 types of businesses that I want to discuss with you guys tonight. And as I talk about these, I want you to think which category your business, you're an entrepreneur. So what category does your business fall into? So the first type of business is a Me Too business. So a Me Too business is simply a business where, let's say this person is a designer and they meet someone else and they say, oh, well, what do you do? And that person says, oh, I'm a designer. Okay, me too, right? There's nothing to really differentiate you from the next person when the ideal client is looking for somebody to work with, because you've put yourselves both on the same playing field, right? You're just categorizing yourself in the box with everyone else that does what you do. Then there's the I'm better business. So the I'm better business is a business where you might say, okay, well, yeah, she's a designer, I'm a designer, but I'm better than her because my styles are better than her, or I have more training than her. But the problem is not enough people know that, right? So you might think internally that you are better than this person or you have more skill set than this person, and you might actually be correct. But does your ideal client know the difference between you and the other person? So guess what? That puts you right back in the category of the what? The Me Too business. And then there's the only business. So even though you might be a designer or a similar business to someone else, right? Because we know there are hundreds and thousands of people that, quote unquote, are in the same category as what you may do. But how do you position yourself as the only business that does what, right? There are certain things and certain characteristics that position you as the only business, which is what we're going to talk about tonight. So let's get into the 5 steps to help you build your personal brand. So the first step is, who are you meant to serve, help, or support? So most of us, when we get into building our businesses, the first thing that we do is we think about the colors, we think about the logo, oh, I got to throw this website up, oh, I got to get some business cards, and all of those things are great and all of those things are necessary, but that's not the first thing that you want to focus on. That piece actually should come towards the very end after you've created your entire brand strategy. So what you really want to focus on when you're building your personal brand, especially as it relates to your business, is who are you really meant to serve? Who are you meant to help or support? You want to think about who is your ideal client. So who is the person that is going to be most open or receptive to your expertise or your skill set? And the way you want to answer that question is simply to say, what problems do they have that you know you can easily solve for them? Or what desire do they want that you can help provide for them? So first start thinking about, who is your ideal client? What are they struggling with right now that I have the answer to? I know how to help them. They just don't know it yet. Or what is it that they really, really want? They just don't know how to get it, and I can show them how to get that. So that's the first step to building your personal brand, because that's how people are going to come into your quote unquote funnel. That's how people are going to be attracted to you. The second part of that is to think about your brand story. So the second step is to create your brand story. I'm going to say that one more time because this part is very important and we're going to break that down. You want to create your brand story. Now let's think about a story for a second. So in any story, whether it's a story that you watch in a movie, if it's a story that you read in a narrative or novel book, every story has three major players in the story. There's the hero, there's the villain, and then there's the guide or the mentor that helps guide or tell the story, right? Now, this question is for you, and I'd love for you to, again, type in the chat box and let me know. Are you the hero? Are you the villain? Or are you the guide or the mentor in your brand story? So I don't know if I can see some of you. I'm going to try to look here and see if I can see some of your messages. I don't know if I can, but okay. So Janice says the hero. Great. So I want to, does anybody else? Hold on one second. Okay. So we got the hero, we've got the guide, we've got the villain, right? So here's the answer to that question. And you guys are going to be very surprised to hear this. So if you said you were the guide, then you actually get the prize. So here's the thing. You are actually not the hero in your brand story because your brand story is not your story. Your brand story is actually the story of your dream clients. So yes, initially when we create our brand story, we're thinking about, well, why did we get started? Why do we do what we do? What inspires us? What makes us want to give our expertise to the world? And yes, that is an important component of your story, but that's not the brand story that your ideal clients care about. And that's not the brand story that's going to help shape your personal brand. You actually want to create a brand story around your ideal clients. Because when you start talking about yourself and why I do this and what makes me so great, and this is why I'm here to serve people, it actually starts to turn people off. So they start feeling like, I'm no longer interested in what they have to say. And here's why. Because your dream clients or your heroes, which we'll get into in a second, all they want to know is how can your business help them? AKA, you might have heard the phrase, what's in it for me? Everybody wants to know what's in it for me. So yeah, your brand is cool. I like the vibe. I may like the colors. I like what you represent, but what am I going to get out of being associated with your business? Is this business going to help me? Is it going to hurt me? Is it going to make me look better? Is it going to make me sound better? Is it going to improve my life, my weight, whatever? It's all about what's in it for them, not you. So let's put this in a situation so I can kind of bring this all together for you. So we're going to use a story that most people are familiar with, which is the story of the movie The Matrix. So when you think about The Matrix, I can't remember when it actually came out. I think it came out maybe in the late 90s or something. But when you think about the story of the Matrix, this is a very popular story, right? We have Trinity, we have Neo, and we have Morpheus. Now, Neo was the hero in the story. We know that Neo was able to, get through the story by means of Who? The guide, Morpheus. Although Morpheus was a huge part of the movie, Morpheus wasn't the victor at the end of the movie. There was a villain. The villain was Agent Smith and all of those men in black looking people. And there were some other villains in there. But these people were trying to stop Neo from realizing that he was the one, stop him from getting the goal, getting the prize at the end, right? The issue was that Neo didn't quite realize that he was the hero until the very end of the movie. So your dream clients, they don't realize that they are the hero, but here's the thing. They want to win something. They want to get the prize. They want to be victorious in something, whether that's they want to learn how to, maybe they have extra weight that they want to shed. Maybe they're growing a business. Maybe they're trying to learn how to be a better parent or a better wife. Maybe they're trying to get over some kind of anxiety and they need life coaching. Maybe they're having problems with their skin or their hair. There's a villain that's stopping them from getting the goal, getting the prize. And so your guide, you're not your guide, you are the guide, but your job as the guide is to help them along that journey. They need to be able to see that if I'm associated with this person, they are going to help me along the journey. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, let's just say you are an employee and you're working for a company, or you want to work for a company, and your personal brand matters when you're going to work for a company. They want to know, can you help them get the prize, whether that's more clients, whether that's more acquisitions, more money, whatever that is. There's something that's in the way of them getting more of what they want or getting rid of something they don't want. And they want to know, are you the person that can help them get to the end, to the victor, to the part where we're raising our hands because we just won the race. So keep in mind that you are the guide. Your heroes are your clients, is your employer, is the person that you want to, quote unquote, impress, for lack of a better word, right? That's the person that you want to showcase your talent, your skills to. You have to be aware that there's something that's in their way. So there's some kind of villain that's blocking them from getting what they want. And then you are the guide that's going to help them through that. Now, the wonderful thing about you being the guide is usually in most cases, especially as it relates to business, is the guide is a person who has probably been through what the hero is going through or the dream client is going through, or the employer is going through at that particular moment, right? They've already became victorious in that situation, which makes them an expert in helping someone else get through that situation. So that's how you leverage your strengths as the guide to say, hey, I can help you through this because I've been there before. I've seen other people go through this, and this is how my skill set can help them. So you want to make sure that you position your brand story around your dream clients or the person that you're targeting, the person that you are shaping your brand around. Remember, your heroes only want one of two things. The first thing is they either have, they're looking for someone to solve a problem they have that they don't want. They want to get rid of it. Or it's something they do want, right? They're looking for somebody that can help them fulfill a desire that they want and they just don't have it yet. So when you keep that in mind, that can help you to continue to build your personal brand around who you're meant to serve and who you're meant to help. Now let's talk about step 3. So step 3 is all about creating a hyper niche. I say niche. I know some people say niche, but we're going to say niche tonight. So this is around creating a hyper niche or specific skill set that you are an expert at. Now, when you are creating a business, or if you are not in business and you're creating your personal brand to work for a corporation, you have a skill set. We all have resumes or had resumes in the past where we put all the things that we're amazing at, right? And we're applying to a specific job that has a specific title, or you have a business where you are going to, or you want to acquire clients that you can help with your specific level of expertise. And one of the things that I see my clients do a lot is they try to keep themselves broad because they feel like, well, if I only focus on this group of people, then I'm going to turn off the rest of these people. But that's actually a great thing. We want to turn people off that are not a fit for our brand. We're building a personal brand around our expertise and around people that we know for sure we can help and support. So we don't need to talk to people over here that we cannot help and support. And what happens is when you cut those people off, the people that you can help and support can actually see you better, see you more clearly. Or you do niche yourself out, but you keep it on the surface. Oh, I help women entrepreneurs, or I help moms that are trying to lose weight. What I want you to do is to create a hyper niche. So can we go under the layer a little bit more to be a little bit more focused on a particular group? It's just the same when you're dealing with a doctor, right? They have a PhD, but then there's doctors on different levels that are specialized in specific areas, right? So right now with the coronavirus and all of these things going on, you wouldn't go to somebody who doesn't have a skill set or doesn't know how to treat that specific virus if you came into contact with it. I know that's a terrible example, but something that we all can relate to. You want a specialist that's going to get you healthy quick, right? So let's relate that to Debbie from Ask Debbie About Hair. And this is how we were able to explode her personal brand. Now, she already had a thriving business. She had a brick and mortar salon here in Atlanta, but trying to compete online with all the saturation, all the people that pop up with a phone and say they do hair, people that are building their Instagram. When she started her business, there was no such thing as an Instagram or a Facebook or any of those things. So now you're competing in a market that you know nothing about. So how do you do that? How do you allow yourself to stand out? So this is where the hyper niching came in. Now, Debbie is skilled at more things than I have listed here, but she's a nutritionist. She's a certified licensed nutritionist. She can weave the heck out of somebody's head. So she's a weave expert. Excuse me. She's a strategist. She's actually a seamstress. So she made her own wedding gown. She makes anything that can be made. She can make it, from draperies to gowns to whatever. She's excellent at that. If she chose to create a career just being a seamstress, she could be extremely successful in that. She's also a trichologist. She's a hair loss practitioner, licensed cosmetologist, certified homeopathic practitioner, mom, all these things, right, that fall under her belt. Now, how many times have we seen people who show up and they're like, yeah, I do hair, I'm a nutritionist, I'm this, I'm that. They're saying all these things, right? Jack or Jill of all trades. But then what do we think? Master of none, right? Because we're like, you can't possibly be skilled at all of these things at one time. And not to say that someone can't, but that diminishes your brand. So what's the one thing that you know your clients really are worried about, the problem, or really want bad, that you can help them with, the desire? So in her case, having a salon, she was able to see people in the salon always complaining about hair loss and how they were losing their hair. And this was either due to bad weaves, or most of it was because it was things that was happening internally to their body. And what was happening was people, they would go to doctors and the doctors would give them some kind of topical treatment to put on the skin, but the problem was actually happening in the body. And so that was something that she really keyed into. And she decided to hyper niche herself to focus primarily on being a hair loss practitioner. So yes, she can do all of these things very well, but what is the thing that's going to move the needle for you so that you now elevate yourself from the competition? You're no longer playing in a saturated market, because those other people can't compete with you on that level. So I want you to think about, what can you do right now, or what do you know? What are your skill sets? How can you hyper niche yourself? It's something that you're really great at that you're probably overlooking, because most of the things that we're fantastic at are things that we don't even think about. But there are people out there that need that skill set right now. So how can you hyper niche yourself to elevate yourself from your competition, from your saturation, to really make your personal brand stand out? What is it that you want to be known for? So when someone thinks about your brand, what is it that you want them to say? What are the feelings that you want to come to mind? What is it that you want to be known for? You have to think about that. When you're not in the room and somebody's talking about you, what is it that you want people to say about you? So really think clearly about what it is that you want to be known for. Step 4 is one of my favorites, which is sell the sizzle, not the steak. So what do I mean by sell the sizzle and not the steak? Well, I don't want you to focus on the feature. So I don't want you to focus on the tangible benefits that you provide someone, right? I want you to focus more on the results. Because remember, again, people only want to know what's in it for me. What am I going to get by being associated with this brand or this person? How is it going to benefit my life? They need to see that in the form of results. So this is a great time if you have a thriving business or if you're building your business. So many people forget to talk about their testimonials and show the receipts of the work that they've done. Even if you're in the beginning stages of your business and you haven't quite exchanged money for your services, you've helped someone. You're in a position where you know that you need to build your personal brand because you have some level of expertise. And that's because you've shown that expertise in some fashion or form. So how can you acquire or accumulate receipts, if you will, of people that you have helped or companies that you've worked for? People want to see those results. What happens when we want to buy something from one of my favorite places, if not the favorite place? I'm probably on Amazon at least 5 times a week, straight up, right? But what's the first thing that we do when we're going to buy something on Amazon? We look at the reviews. We want to know what other people are saying. And that's important, especially when there's 12 different versions of the same thing that you want to buy. So now I have to differentiate that item by looking at what other people have to say about it. So make sure that you are showing the results of what it is to be around you, to be associated with you, to be a part of your business, to buy your products, to buy your services. That's very important. And the last step to building your personal brand is you want to create your BFF factor. So how can you make people feel like they know, like, and trust you? The simple way to do that is to educate them, entertain them, and then execute. So let's break that down. So let's talk about educate. Again, you are an expert. You're phenomenal at what it is that you do. You have a skill set that people need to see and people need to know. Leverage that opportunity by educating people. And the best way you can do that is give people a quick win. If you can help somebody to get a quick win, which means they get a victory, that same victory, but they can get an instant victory from learning a tip or trick or strategy from you, then they will be more inclined to listen to you and trust you because you gave them a win. They're like, oh, she knows what she's talking about because she said to do this. I did it. It worked. So I believe her now. That's the quickest way to establish that. Use your social media platforms to do that. So many of us are afraid to flip that camera on and go live or post a video. You don't necessarily have to go live. You don't, I'm not going to tell you not to post a video because I'm really going to push you to post video. But you want to show your expertise. Leveraging social media is the best way to do that because as long as you have a phone that has a keypad and or a camera on it, you can share what you know so that people can feel educated by you and realize that, yes, she does know what she's talking about. And then when that problem or that desire comes up for them or even someone else, guess who's going to come top of mind because they're constantly seeing your expertise being displayed. They will feel more convicted like, yeah, she can help you. The second thing is to entertain. Now, that just simply means to be yourself. Do not juggle and do other things that are not in your wheelhouse. If you're not funny, don't tell jokes. It just literally means to be yourself. People are entertained by watching people live their lives and be themselves. So you don't want your business to be stuffy. You don't want your business to not have personality. This is a great time for you to show your personality. Even if you are an introvert, even if you feel like, people are not really going to like me, guess what? There's thousands of people that feel just like you, that will feel so connected to you because they're going to be like, oh my God, she's just like me. So whatever you feel, you're quirky, you're weird, whatever that is, it's beautiful to someone else. It's beautiful for you because that's who you are. And people want to connect with people. People buy from people. So this is a great opportunity for you to show people who you really are. Learn how to infuse your personality into your business. And then lastly, you want to execute. So if you're going to do something, if you say you're going to do it, I know we've all had the parents that are like, let your yes mean yes, let your no mean no. That's a scripture in the Bible that was beating my head for all of my life, right? You want to be consistent with what you do. And now that I am a parent, I also live by that rule that I have to let my yes mean yes and my no mean no. And now that I'm also a business owner, it matters. So you need to be consistent. You cannot decide that you want to show up as this amazing person today, and then you disappear for 2 weeks, and then you come back, and then you try to build that momentum up again. It's not going to work. Your audience is going to be on to the next person, and it's draining. So you have to create a stride where you feel that you can be consistent, showing up as the best version of yourself on a regular basis. Execute. You've got the skills already. You don't need to acquire any additional skills on who you are. You just need to learn how to position yourself and position your brand as a leader and show your expertise. So you just want to get in the habit of being consistent and showing up. So let's do a quick recap. So first, you want to determine who your ideal clients are. So remember, who is it that you are meant to serve, support, or help? That's who we're going to establish off the rip. We're not talking about colors or logos or any of that stuff. Secondly, you want to create your brand story. And your brand story, remember, is not your story, but it's the story of your dream clients. It's the story of that job or that business. What is going on in their head? Where are they right now? What's their story? And how can you open the doors to allow yourself to enter into their story so that they are now allowing you to take them through the end of their story? 3, you want to create a hyper niche. So even if you have niched yourself into a particular category or particular title or particular industry, you still want to position yourself where you have a special skill set above your competition, or even within the realm of what you're doing. You want to be able to highlight a special skill, something that no one else is doing, or they're not doing it like you. Right? So somebody can still do what you're doing. If Rihanna decided that she didn't want to start a makeup line because Kylie Jenner had one, Beyonce doesn't have a makeup line. She has perfume. But we know there's thousands of makeup lines out there, right? Every other day, somebody's coming up with one. Why? Because they have the ability to make it unique to them. So don't think that just because somebody is doing something similar to you that you cannot shine and take over your market or take over your industry. But you do have to know how to hyper niche yourself so that you can stand out in a saturated market. Then 4, we want to sell the sizzle, not the steak, right? So when we watch commercials, it's the steam, it's the steak, it's the juices that we see that really gets our appetite going and gets us hungry for more. Not just a picture of a steak on a page, but when we can actually feel like we're eating it, we can experience and we can think about what that is in our mind. You want people to do the same for you. You want people to think and experience themselves with the greatness that you have, whatever that expertise that you have, that product that you have, that service that you have. You want people to feel like, oh, if I move forward with this, this is what my life is going to look like. So sell the sizzle, not the steak. Use that as an opportunity to showcase testimonials, reviews, results from other people that you have worked with. And don't be afraid to brag on that, because for whatever reason, we seem to feel, especially as women, that bragging is bad. But it's not bragging if it's true. And it's okay, you don't want to be obnoxious with it, but it's okay to talk about your accomplishments. You should be proud of the accomplishments. And many times we overlook them, we diminish them. Oh, we shrink ourselves back. But you want to elevate yourself. You want to be open about the amazingness that you have to offer. And don't be afraid to talk about it. You've got to put yourself out there. And I will tell you that that's the number one reason why people's personal brands do not go to the places that they really could, is because women are afraid to put themselves out there because they don't want to sound like they're bragging or they're superficial or they're full of themselves. And yes, there are ways that you can absolutely do that and turn people off, but there are ways that you can do that which invite people to actually want to learn more about you and want to support what you're doing. So sell the sizzle, not the steak. And then the fifth step is to create your BFF factor. So how can you establish that know, like, and trust with people? You want your dream clients, you want the people that you are working with to feel like they are close to you. They are your BFF. But that also requires you to step up and reciprocate that BFF feeling along with them, so they feel like it's a team effort. It's not just them adoring you, but they actually feel like you get them, you listen to them, you understand them. So you have to put yourself on their level. You have to put yourself in a situation where you allow yourself to be just a tad bit vulnerable to show that you're a human being. Everything is automated, it's an automated reality wherever you go, right? You don't even, there's so many things that we can do right now. We don't have to physically talk to a single person. People want to connect with people. And so you want to create an experience where people want to be around you. They want to experience what it's like to be in your hemisphere, on your frequency, on your vibe. All right, so now I have a question for you, which is, do you struggle to build your brand? Now, if you struggle to build your brand, it doesn't make you wrong. That's probably why you're here today. We've all struggled to build our brand. I struggled to build my brand when I first started, which is why I want to share a resource with you guys that I think will help you tremendously to build your brand and do all the things that we just talked about, which is a course that I have, which is called Becoming Your Brand: How to Own Your Niche, Get Noticed, and Build Your Tribe Online. So this is one of my clients, Chef Nina G. She is a chef, Chef Nina G. And this is just a testimonial, a testament to what she was able to accomplish after working with us inside of this program. She wanted to work with high-profile NFL clients. And she had a couple, but she really wanted to expand her brand, which is why she decided to work with us inside of our program. And within 6 weeks of Nina working with us, Nina was able to sign on 4 NFL clients. She created her own juice product, which she had gotten endorsed by the very lovely Kim Coles right here for the very first time she drank it, and gave her an endorsement right on the spot. She calls me and my husband mom and dad. So in this post, she's saying the first time she put her pop-up shop, she sold out in 90 minutes. Now she was able to sign a year-long contract with the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars, to promote and produce her beverages for the NFL. So that's just an example of what she was able to do when she refined her personal brand. She leveraged her personal brand on social media, and she was able to get these results. Another one of my clients, Candy Holyfield, also known as Candy Day Spa, Six Figure Spa Chick on Instagram. Candy says that she went from 0 clients to 12, 12 to 18, 18 to 15. Candy just crossed over the $1 million mark in her business. She's doing exceptionally well, and that's just from her learning the skills of building her personal brand. She put the work in and the time in to really refine and build her personal brand. This is LaDawn. LaDawn says that LaDawn is a strategist, and she says that after working with us, within 90 days, LaDawn quit. She had a 6-figure job, but she didn't want to do that job anymore. She actually was able to quit her job. She's been able to bring on team members. In the beginning of her working with us, she generated, I think she said when she first started her business a year prior, she had made $700 for the year. After working in the program, $20,000 in revenue in just 60 days. She's now making multiple six figures. She just had a speaking engagement, I think, in Nairobi or Kenya or some place in the African continent, and she's doing phenomenal. Again, from refining her personal brand and working with us inside of this program. So let's briefly talk about what's inside the program so you can see if this is a fit for you. So the first module, we talk about your brand message, which is so important. This is where we're going to build your irresistible brand story to help you get more clients saying yes. And I'm going to show you how to simplify your brand message so people listen. We do all the things when in reality, you need to just trim it down. The more simplified you are, the better off you will be. It'll actually make it more easy for people to understand what you have to offer and be willing to work with you because it's not complicated. Module 2, we talk about how to position yourself as the expert. So now we've established that you are the expert, AKA the guide, but how do you position yourself as the guide so that they recognize that your purpose is to help them along the journey? And I also discussed with you why having an alter ego is imperative. So if you think about some of your most favorite celebrities, Beyonce, J-Lo, Lady Gaga, they all had alter egos. Most of the celebrities that you know, every single one of them has an alter ego. That's done on purpose. And I explained to you why and why it's imperative for you to also have an alter ego to help to transform your business. And then in this module, we talk about how to create super fans. So super fans are those people that you think about a super fan for a celebrity. They will buy every single piece of paraphernalia that comes out. They show up at every concert. They have trading cards. They probably have a box stash somewhere with every single piece of everything they've ever seen or acquired around that artist. Well, you want people to do the same thing for your business. You want to create super fans for your brand, and you absolutely can. And we talk about how to do that in this module. Next, we talk about how to refine your niche so that you connect with people. So there's 4 types of clients, and in this module, we talk about how to sell to each one or not each one. And then I help you to uncover your secret sauce. So you have some secret sauce there that's going to help you to stand out in the crowd. And in this module, we talk about that. And how to find your target audience in droves. We know you're an expert at what you do, but you put your business in, it's like that old saying of when you build it, they'll come. That's gone. That doesn't work anymore. So how do you find people and find them in droves so that you can keep a consistent flow of income coming in? And then how to market yourself online in an oversaturated market or oversaturated industry. Module 4, we talk about creating content that sells. So remember, we have to educate, right? That educate piece of educate, entertain, execute. Well, you have to educate people. So how do you do that? In this module, we talk about exactly what you need to say in your marketing to move people from just following you to actually buying from you or being a part of your hemisphere or hiring you for that next job. I teach you how to create content with a simple method that I've coined the tease method. How do you tease them to get them to devour your content? They're excited about, they open every email. They're excited anytime you post something. They want to see what it is you have to offer. And then how to properly price your services. Price yourself so you don't price yourself out the market. I'm a fan of no discounts, right? So sometimes it's okay to give a discount, but I'm not the person that's going to tell you to lower your price so you can get more clients. Instead, we need to show them the value so that they're willing to pay for it. And then how to create your marketing funnel. So do you really know or understand how to take somebody from being a prospect, so that's somebody that might just found you online or somebody you're having a conversation with or somebody you may have called, and then move them from prospect to being an actual buyer, somebody that's now convinced, they're like, yep, she's the one I want to work with, and they're actually taking action on what it is you have to offer. And then module 5, we talk about how to wow them with your secret sauce. So we've uncovered the secret sauce. How do we wow them with it? So in this module, we talk about how to create one-of-a-kind experiences that keeps people engaged. You want repeat clients. You want to be able to have, you don't want one-offs unless that's your business model. But ideally, you want people to continue to stay in your hemisphere. You want people to continue to buy from you. Remember, we're creating super fans. How do we wow them? How do we get them to constantly choose us or choose you over your competition? And then how do you properly follow up with people? So sometimes we get interest and then flat. We don't hear anything from them again. And we don't really know how to go back and reinitiate the conversation to get that sale or make that connection. So here I teach you how to convert those maybes into yeses. And then lastly, I show you how to leverage specifically Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is my jam. That's my passion project, if you will. And here's where I teach you how to leverage those platforms to captivate your audience. So that's where you want to spend your time and hang out to find your people. So here we show you how to leverage actually your competitors. So the people that are already killing it, how do we leverage them to bring their traffic over to us? And then how do we explode our brands on Instagram? I actually show you how to create a lead magnet, how to create a Facebook ad, how to create a funnel building email script so that now we've got their attention. What is it that we continue to say to them to move them to what? Buy or be a part of what it is that we're doing. Now, in addition to that, I have some special bonuses for you guys, especially for you guys tonight. The first bonus is I'm going to show you a step-by-step tutorial of a Facebook ad that generated over $100,000 in sales. I'm going to show you my secret target audience, and I'm also going to show you how to find out your competitors' target audience as well. And then I also share with you 7 different swipe files from 7 different industries. So I have a realtor, if you're a wedding planner, if you're a salon owner, if you're a coach or a strategist, I have all types of things in there that you can literally swipe and copy for yourself. We know that these ads are converting ads because we use them for our clients. I actually have a digital marketing agency. So this is the meat that we use for some of our bigger brands to help them to get more clients. And then the second bonus is a 31-day social media content calendar, so you know exactly what to post every single day. Instagram stories is really, really big, and that's how you really want to get your attention on Instagram. And so I share with you a 7-day Instagram story script, so you know exactly what to say each day, and then you rinse and repeat that. And I also share with you my Instagram perfect post playbook. So I have over 150 posts that you can swipe and literally drop into your Instagram post so you don't have to worry about what it is that you need to say every single day. So those are 2 bonuses that I'm giving you guys, especially tonight, if you decide that this is something you want to be a part of. This is just a quick screenshot of results for me. So this is Nina showing us, she sent us a text message showing us that she just signed on 2 clients. One was an NFL player that she signed the contract in the bed, and then 2 days later she signed another player, and she stated that this was the first time she was going to hit a 6-figure month. Another one of my clients talks about how amazing, and she's somebody that I've worked with in the past, and she decided to enroll in this program and says that the information in the program was mind-blowing. So I know I've said a lot, but I've got 2 more bonuses that I want to share with you if you guys decide to enroll tonight. So the first bonus, if you decide to enroll tonight, I'm going to give you instant access to my Instagram Unlocked program. So remember I told you how that you need to leverage social media to grow your brand. And in the Instagram Unlocked program, I have over 30 plus videos. They're tutorials where I'm literally showing you from either my phone or my computer how to grow your Instagram to 10,000 new followers in 30 days or less. And the second bonus that I'm going to give you guys is a brainstorm session with me. Now, this is something that I never offer, but I'm giving this to you guys tonight because I want to help you and I want to be able to help you grow your business. And so it helps when you're able to bounce ideas off of a person, and I want to be that source for you. So with that, I will review your website, I will review your Instagram, and I'm going to give you a customized strategy that you can use to work alongside the Becoming Your Brand program to help you grow. Because if you know exactly the goal and the direction and you have a blueprint on what you're working towards, then it's easier for you to just put all those pieces together. So that is something that I'm going to offer you guys if you are able to sign up tonight. So if I could help position you as an expert in your niche and get you more clients in your business, would this be worth it to you? Would you feel like, yes, this is something that can help me because I want to be an expert in my niche and I want to get more clients? So let's get to the meat because I know you guys are like, all right, this all sounds fantastic. How much is this thing? So everything, I'm not going to run down everything again. You can see it here, but everything inside the Becoming Your Brand program, the total value of this program is $5,523. Now, I have this program on my website right now. If you go to this program, I've sold this program for more than $14.97, but currently it's a $14.97 program that people are purchasing at $14.97 to this day. But I'm giving you guys a special bonus. Well, I wouldn't say it's a bonus. I hate to use the word discount. So we're going to use the word offer. So I'm giving you guys specifically a special offer, and I'm giving you the opportunity to enroll in this program for just $497. So you'll get everything that I've mentioned, all the modules to the programs, all the trainings, all the bonuses. You get instant access to everything, so you don't have to wait to get into each module for $497. So if this is something that you think you'd be interested in and you feel like this is going to help you move your business or move your personal brand to the next level, then all you need to do is go to becomingyourbrand.com, and maybe we can get somebody to put that link in the comments so you guys can easily click on it, but it's becomingyourbrand.com. I would love to welcome you inside of the program and help you to build your personal brand and see how I can help you take your business to the next level. So again, it's becomingyourbrand.com. And now I want to turn it back to Miss Janice. If anyone has any questions about anything that I've said, anything around branding, around marketing, around leveraging Instagram, I want to be a source to help you. So please, Miss Janice, thank you. And I'm ready to answer any questions anyone may have. Oh, thanks for putting that in there. I can't hear anyone though.
I was muted all that time. Shame on me.
Just gonna sit here.
I learned something tonight. I heard things that I had not heard before, and I sit through all of these presentations.
That's the point. I'm glad to hear that.
It was amazing because I said I was the hero of my story, but that's not true. And when I thought about it, at this point in my life, I better be a mentor or a guide because it's kind of late to be the hero. But if you've got questions, please pose them now. You can type your question in, you can raise your hand, and we will recognize and unmute you. Mr. Johannes is here and he is ready and willing to handle your questions. And I know Mr. Misha will have a good answer for you.
I sure will. I'll try to at least.
Well, you've already given us some good answers. This idea of your client, and people tell me all the time, say, oh, I want to be in my own business because I don't want a boss. I said, no, no, no. Every client is your boss effectively because you are serving them.
That's right. That's absolutely correct.
Do we have questions? I know you must have questions. There are more than 50 of you on the line. Let's see. Well, I tell you what, I'll pose a question just to get us started.
Okay.
What are the significant differences, if any, between a business brand and a personal brand? And where do they overlap?
So they do overlap, and it really just depends on the business. So for me, my business is my personal brand. So if you are somebody that is a coach or a consultant, or you are the head honcho in your brand or in your business, then your personal brand is definitely reflective of how you do your business. However, your business has its own. So I could have a great personal brand. People could see me or see what I post on social media and think, oh, she's fabulous. But if somebody actually works inside my business and they don't get those fabulous results, then yeah, they could have two different lives, if you will. Or what I see a lot, and even this happened for me, when I first started my business, I wasn't really clear, and a lot of people are not really clear on the value they provide. So they may say one thing, but their business actually does something else, which can confuse people. They're not really sure how you can help them. So you want to make sure that as you establish your personal brand, yes, it is, they do coincide with each other, because people work with people. They want to be connected to people. So even though what you offer is something that is, separate from you, people are coming to your business because of you. They're coming to your business because of your reputation, because of what you represent, or because of what your business represents, which is still a reflection of you. So you want to make sure that everything that you're doing aligns with each other, because it's your reputation. Your brand is your reputation. And if you have a bad reputation as a person, then nobody's going to want to work with your business, and vice versa.
You make me think of something that might be important and relevant, and that is authenticity. How important is it to be genuine and for people to get the sense that what you see really is what you get?
It's very important. That's a great question. And you hear that word thrown out, a lot nowadays, about being authentic, because it almost feels, especially on social media, that everything and everybody is fake, right? Because of course we're going to put our best foot forward. We're going to put our representative out on our website, on our social media platforms. But the reality is, and this is something that came across, not necessarily for me, but I would get people who worked with other brand strategists, and they felt like, well, this person had this, facade that they were one way, but they were actually a different way. And people will figure that out really quickly. So the other thing about being authentic, if you're trying to copy what somebody else is doing, so a lot of times when we start our businesses, we see this person over here, I've done it. When I tried to start my business, I said, oh, this person is doing well, so let me do what they're doing. But it wasn't authentic to me. So I couldn't keep it up, because I'm not creating results for what I'm good at. I'm basing what I'm doing off of the next person. And I don't know what their backstory is, what their client's brand story is. I don't know any of those details. So I'm literally just copying what I'm seeing. But that is going to, bite you in the back, in the end, because it's not authentic to you. It's much easier to create a business that feels genuine to you, that aligns with your goals, your beliefs, your morals, your values, who you are as a person, because it's a lot of work to pretend to be somebody else when you can just be yourself. And that will turn people off, but that will also invite a ton of other amazing people into your circle.
This is not really a question, but one of the fascinating insights that I gained is to entertain your client, be yourself. Don't try to juggle, just be yourself. Talk to us a little bit more about what that means to you in your career.
Yeah, that's a great question. Also, Miss Janice, so I can tell you from my personal experience, especially when I came from a corporate background, as I talked about in the webinar. And so when I started my journey as an entrepreneur, I had a little 5-year-old, or no, not 5. He was maybe 3. I had a 3-year-old, and I had a baby. And I struggled with that, because I did not want them. They would come in, they do it now, I'm used to it now, but they would come in the room, the babies would cry, this one would be like, Mommy, could you do this? And I just felt like, oh my God, the people are going to think that I don't have my life together. And if I don't have my life together, then they're not going to believe that I know what I'm talking about. So I would push them out of the mix. I didn't want them to be a part of it. And then my husband and I had created a show. It was called Dinner with the Duncans. And we would cook dinner, where we professed to be really good cooks. And so we would cook dinner together, and we would answer questions, and we would do like a Facebook Live. And occasionally we would let the kids participate. And the funny thing is, the people were so entertained by the children. This was a part of my life that I did not want people to see, because I thought it would be a poor reflection on my brand if I didn't, because I know kids are unpredictable. So if they're doing things and that I can't necessarily control at that moment, in my weird way of thinking, I was like, oh, this is not going to be a good look for my brand. But it turned out to be the opposite. Allowing people to see the real me and what really goes on in my house from sun up to sundown was actually the turning curve for us, where people gravitated to us way more. In fact, there were episodes after that where we didn't have the kids. People would be like, where are the kids? you want to see the kids. So it's, it's funny now, but back then I couldn't see it for what it was. But allowing people to really see that part of my life, and that was really just being me, but people were entertained by it. And so that helped me to see that you don't have to go, we see so many people doing so many things that it's like, well, I can't compete with that. You don't have to. Just be yourself and allow people to see you for who you are and what goes on in your world. And people will be entertained just by that.
And I'm sure that seeing you struggling, or not struggling, but dealing with the children and the business, it had to make you relatable to other young mothers and wives who could only do a business part-time because they've got little children. I
Yes.
mean, that is such a relatable story. Just about every woman who's ever tried to have a business can identify with that.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what happened. It was like, oh yeah, and people would send messages and be like, wow, I really liked you, but I really, I see you so differently now. Like I feel like I can really relate to you now because this is what's happening to me. And so it
Because
really
you
just,
see the perfect outfit, the perfect size, the perfect hair, and you think, well, she's perfection. I'm never going to be that. But this is be a little bit vulnerable. I think that's a great insight. That's one of the things that I picked up from your conversation tonight.
yeah, it really is major, especially when you have so many people competing for your ideal client's attention. It's just easier to just be yourself. The person that can be themselves and be content in their own skin is the person that's going to win.
Wow. Mr. Johannes, do we have questions from the audience? This
Yes,
is
ma'am.
such a, yes, go ahead.
Ms. Leonard had the question. She says, I have a t-shirt business and I have a hard time finding my hyper niche specifically as it concerns being unique. Is there any advice you can offer?
So my question would be to Miss Leonard Ebony is what type of t-shirts are you selling? Because there's the t-shirts that have motivational quotes, there's all kinds of things, right? So there's a market, a specific market that is going to cater to the type of clothing that you have. You have to know who that market is and what interests them. And the thing about it is, even in, it doesn't matter if you're selling t-shirts, if you're selling socks, it doesn't matter. There's an audience that's looking for that specific thing, whether it's the slogan that's on a t-shirt, whether it's the material. Maybe there's an audience that only wants to deal with a particular type of organic fabric because of their skin or their child's skin, or they want to know that these products were made from a plant-based, there were no animals or anybody that was affected by the materials that was used for this. Think about those brands that highlight those features. That's their target market. So yes, you have a t-shirt business, but maybe think about, well, are your t-shirts manufactured differently that will appeal to your audience? Or are you focused on a particular type of slogan? There's t-shirt companies that may have, t-shirts that are just for women. Think about what it is that you're creating, and again, who is it for? What's important to them? And then highlight those things that are important to them. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in the realm of buy my shirt, but think about they're excited, or what's important to them is the environment and the earth and how we create products, and how are we damaging the earth by the products that we create. So bring those things into your brand and talk about those things and highlight those things, because maybe those things are important to you too. So think about what it is that you're selling, what components of it, break it down. Don't be afraid to sit there and really break down. I have a t-shirt business. What kind of shirts do I sell? What are they about? How are they made? Think about all of those things that can create a message or a hyper niche that you can go after.
Well, that's just great. We've got just a few minutes, maybe time for a question or two, Mr. Johannes.
Okay. Ms. Harris says, how important is it to have your social media handles unified and consistent? Should you have a separate account for your personal and your business? Thinking
So
back to my finish.
that's a great question. And it really depends on, again, your brand. So for me personally, when I started, I had two Instagram accounts. I had a personal account and I had a business account. But because my brand is my personal brand, it didn't make sense for me to continue to have a personal account. If you are the face of your business, then I would say you don't need two separate accounts. But if you are a person that likes to post things that are not in alignment with your brand, then yes, you don't need to put those things inside of your same social media. So if you go to my social media, you'll see that 90% of everything that I post is around my business. And even if it's personal, I circle it back to my business. I very rarely post things that are not aligned with my brand. And if I do it in my stories because I know that only lasts for 24 hours. So it really just depends. If you're a personal brand, then I say no, just one account. If you are a company and you're not the face of your company, then probably keep things separate.
Okay. How do you hire the right staff for your business? Any advice?
Oh, that's a wonderful question. I'm actually in the process of doing that now. So you want to ask really, really good questions. And one of the things that I do in my hiring process, I break it down into segments. So you want to hire slow and fire fast, which I had to learn the hard way. When you're hiring people, the first thing that I do for me is to make sure that it's a culture fit, because skills can be learned. Yes, you want somebody that can come on and get in there and do the things that you need to do. But for me, it's more important to make sure that I have a cultural fit, somebody that understands my brand, understands my values, lives the same values, morals, and beliefs that I have. So I ask them in my very first interview, and usually what I do is I will do a group interview because my time is valuable. So I don't have time to sit there and interview 95 people at once. I'll do a group interview, and the first thing that we do in that first interview is I ask them questions about them. I ask them about their personalities. I ask them to tell me questions, like why. The first question I ask them is, what is your 5-year plan? Because if somebody tells me, I just recently had somebody tell me that they wanted to start their own business and they expected to do all of these things with their personal business and their personal brand. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for somebody who is trying to create their own business, learn from me, and then create their own business. I'm looking for somebody that wants to grow with my company. So you need to ask questions that are not necessarily evasive, but you can find out the personality of the person to see if they're going to be a good fit. After I weed out the people that I know are not going to be a good fit, then we start to talk about their skill sets. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll give somebody a dry run or test. So just recently I hired a social media intern, and after we did the cultural fit, then I had the remaining people show me what they got. So create some posts for me. Let me see what you can create with no direction from me, so I can see what you're going to bring to the table. So make sure you hire slow, fire fast. Make sure that you're hiring somebody that's a fit for your brand and your culture, because you can grow together versus somebody that is not going to be a fit. No matter what their skill set is, you guys are not going to work well together.
I'm nodding because in 30 years of owning businesses and operating businesses, that is one lesson that I have learned, and I don't stray from it. You can teach skills, but you can't teach attitude easily. And you want somebody that's going to be your ace, your partner. Every employee is like a member of your family, especially when you're starting out. That's why I know this lady knows what she's talking about. That's why $500 is a small price. And I never do commercials for people who do these webinars. But I'm telling you, after listening to her for an hour, this is the real deal. I don't know where she's been or where she learned it, but this woman knows what she's talking about. And if you got $500, I would recommend this over another couple of pairs of shoes.
Thank you,
And that's Janice being her country self. So, that's my authenticity. How are we doing on time and questions, Mr. Johannes?
2 more questions, and I think we can wrap this up.
All right.
One question is, I often wonder how to amass so many followers. Is it through paid ads or consistent relevant posting drawing the audience?
Okay, I didn't see that question, so can you ask it one more time because I didn't hear it clearly.
I often wonder how people amass so many followers. Are they using paid ads or doing consistent relevant posting drawing the audience?
Okay, so that honestly is a combination of both. I mean, you have people that buy followers. One thing you can tell somebody that is buying followers, if their engagement is low, most likely they bought those followers. You're not gonna have 100,000 people that follow you, but you only got 20 likes on a picture. It just doesn't make sense. Um, Now, what I can say is one of the things that I teach you inside of the Instagram Unlock program is how to do both. So I teach you how to leverage Facebook ads and Instagram ads to get people. You do a profile ad where you're literally bringing people to your page, an incentive for them to follow you, or how to get people to actually click that follow button with an ad. The other part of that is literally just showing up and being consistent. Some people have never used an ad in their life, but yet they're showing up, they're being consistent with their people. One other thing that you can do is to collaborate with people who already have a huge following. So there's a lot of kind of pay for play where you can pay different platforms that already have a good following and ask them to give you a shout out on their page, and that can bring some of their followers to your network. So there's many different ways that people acquire followers. It's not just ads, it's not just consistency, it's a nice mix of each. But the one thing that I will say is engagement matters way more than any followers you can have. You can have 100 followers, but if your engagement is up, I'd rather have 100 followers that engage with my content, that buy my stuff, than 10,000 or 100,000 that just like your posts.
Okay, and the last question we have here is, to be authentic in the skincare industry, do you put your face forward or a model or spokesperson?
I'm always going to be the fan of you putting your face forward. There's a reason why you started your skincare business. It doesn't necessarily have to be because of your skin, but people want to hear your why. They want to hear what this means to you. So I personally am always going to push my people to promote and put themselves as the face of the brand simply because of what we just talked about. People want to connect with you. They want to have some type of level of authenticity or connection or stickiness with you and what this means to you and why it's important to you. And when people see why it's important to you, the universe shifts itself to support you on that. So if you show people why this is important to you, and why you've created this skincare, and especially if it's something that may have happened to you or maybe a child or something along those lines, people rally behind that. And so it's not wrong if you want to create a skincare and use it for and not put your face in it at all. That doesn't make it wrong or bad. But if you're asking me, then I would say you need to be the face of your brand.
And is that our final question for the evening?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to thank you, Ms. Duncan, for an enlightening and inspiring session tonight. I know that some of our folk will benefit from what you have shared, and we at NCNW wish you all the best and continued success. And if you're not already a member of NCNW, we would urge you to consider, for a mere $50, joining NCNW. It's how we're able to bring these high quality programs to you twice each month, and we will post the results and you can see the presentations and watch the video. The National Council of Negro Women here at 633 Pennsylvania Avenue. It's been our pleasure to have you as our guest this evening. Come out and join us again. We'll meet again what's our date? The end of this month, the fourth Thursday in this month at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for another enlightening and inspiring session with our women's economic empowerment. Thank you and good night.
Thank you all.